Welcome back to the Red River Horror Podcast. This is episode number 35. I am your host, Joe Zakreski, joined by Eddie Cayazzo. Hi, Ed. How are you?
Joe, doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Now, one thing we've mentioned on this show a few times before is my no reason at all hype for King Kong versus Godzilla. Or is it Godzilla versus King Kong?
Godzilla versus Kong.
Godzilla versus Kong. So I am excited for this for no reason whatsoever.
Yep.
Just because, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, right?
It is.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it's going to be on HBO Max. So, it's something maybe if it was in theaters, I probably wouldn't go to see it right away. But because it's going to be released directly on Max, I'm going to watch it as soon as possible.
Okay. Well, it's going to be exciting. So this is the first. Today's episode was this episode 35.
This is episode number 35.
First in the Versus series, the Red River Horror Versus series.
Exactly. So we're going to be covering some Versus, starting off with one that we both liked a lot. I mean, we actually enjoyed most of the Versus, but this one particular of Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, the thing is, we saw a lot of movies back around the time when this came out. This would have been our senior year of high school. We graduated summer.
Yeah, the summer before college started.
Yeah. Oh, the summer. So we were seeing movies left and right
because you couldn't go into bars. Couldn't. You know, most people like we both stayed local. A lot of people were like getting ready to ship off or had shipped off by the time, because this movie came out in August.
Sure.
So a lot of people were getting ready or heading out or on vacation. So
we were staying home,
We were staying home, going to the Domino Diner. And
yes.
Going to movies and going to diners.
Yep. So we saw this one at Main Street Theater in Manayunk.
We did. Us and like 3 other people.
That's right. I can't remember who they were.
I mean, they weren't with us, but they were there.
Oh, okay.
The theater was empty.
Yeah, that's right. Because this still would have been summer. We didn't start college till, I guess, either a few days after or a month after. I don't know.
A week after.
Yeah.
It was a good August.
That summer of 2004 was such a good one for us.
Yeah.
It was weird. All the weight and the gravity that had, you growing up and moving on to the next level. We maximized that summer, I think, better than anyone I know.
Yeah, we had a really good summer. It was really good. Like in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. So we started summer of 2004 in the Poconos on senior week.
Yeah,
everyone else went to the shore.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just wild. And then that's also where our beloved before school trip started that summer too.
That's correct.
Yeah. So
to end that summer with Alien vs. Predator. Let's share some memories, Joe.
Absolutely. And right before we get into it, don't forget to check out our sponsor, Keystone Retro.
Woo!
You can go to KeystoneRetro.com and type in code Red River for 10% off your order.
Something tells me that Steve Feast, owner of Keystone Retro, contributor to Red River Horror.
Yes.
Something tells me he has a Predator and an Alien something.
I bet he does.
He's gotta.
I bet he does.
Big collectible game there.
A lot of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So let's kick it off with the immediate response of being like an Alien vs. Predator movie. Now, both of these characters were iconic before we were born, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, Predator probably around the same time, but they predate us being into movies. Like, we saw them after they were already known. So by the time a movie comes around that's Alien vs. Predator, it doesn't seem as silly to us, you know? We're just like, oh, like they were separate, but they always felt like they were part of the same kind of thing.
That's fair.
But they weren't.
No.
Like, which is really interesting. Like, before that, like, which if you were told Alien or Predator, which way do you go?
What do you mean?
Like, which movie is the better one to you from the originals?
For me, it would have been Alien.
Right? It's like the Aliens, like, I think Alien's the better movie, but Predator's the cooler character.
I could see that.
Like, don't get me, like, the Alien's cool and all, but like, you know, it only once is enough, like twice is enough, I guess you could say, because the sequels, you know, that's one of those, the sequel's better than the original kind of things.
Oh, Alien?
Yeah.
Oh, I firmly disagree.
Aliens.
No way.
I mean, some people, that's one of the common ones for that. Whereas with Predator and Predator 2, that is not the case.
No.
At all.
No.
Oh man.
But Alien, so the first Alien film, 79, that was more like a horror film.
Yeah.
The Xenomorph was not that present.
Yeah.
So when it did, it was that much more effective.
Right.
So creepy. And then Aliens, the big blowout bash with James Cameron, and
Yeah.
it turned it into an action film. Very cool character. Predator, the only thing I remember from when I was a kid with Predator is that scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger was like covered in mud and the Predator couldn't see him. But that was it. Like I don't know. I didn't
You don't remember
know
all
much.
like how everybody died before that?
No.
Oh man.
No.
You have to watch that one again, man. You're
Yes.
in for a treat.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. It's and it holds up. It's just a lot of fun.
When you ask me which movie I gravitate towards, that first Ridley Scott Alien, it's for me one of my top horror films. Even of all
it's an
time.
all-time, one of the greats of cinema.
Yep.
And I mean, props to Mel Brooks for getting William Hurt to recreate the scene in Spaceballs. Because as with the alien popping out, he's like, "Oh no, not again!"
Oh, I got you.
And then the alien pops out and is like, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime girl." So I saw that before I even saw Alien.
But that's the thing. So it's important to note for people listening to this episode and the first of our Versus series, Alien versus Predator. Both Joe and I, we had a knowledge of, I guess, the characters.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the same as if you were someone a bit older than us that grew up with those characters and those films.
Yeah.
We were born in the 80s. The people that grew up with the 80s and
Exactly.
a little bit different for us.
Yeah. So it's like when this came out, I mean, I think the initial reaction for us was like, hey, we've got nothing else to do on a Tuesday night. Let's go see it.
Right.
Also, it could be a lot of fun. And then I'm sure there was people who were big fans of both franchises, probably more so Alien, just being like, no, you don't do this. Which, because like even after it rebirthed Alien and Predator.
Yeah.
Like, they both got relaunches that we were talking about before. We said we were going to do this Versus episode was, hey, like they were like surprisingly good. There's some people didn't like Prometheus, and I was like, that movie's not bad.
I liked Prometheus a lot.
Me too.
I thought... I
actually avoided it because of people telling me it was bad, and I watched it, I'm like, well, no, I like this.
Yeah, I thought the acting was obviously solid, but the filmmaking, the world that Ridley Scott puts viewers in is always amazing to me.
Yeah, I mean, this is some good horror sci-fi. Like this, I mean, it's perfect.
Yes.
In that sense, like the character, the alien itself, where it's like, you stab it, its blood is acid.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not easy. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I mean, it's you could kill it, but
sure. It's going to rip through your ship.
Yeah, and that and the baby aliens, like when their mouths come at you, they look like vaginas. But that's that's serious. But still, tying these two together, we've mentioned it in a previous episode about just how clever it was, especially when we were talking to was that Darcy Weir.
Darcy Weir and Stephen Bassett.
Yeah, when they were talking about like temples, and I was like, oh yeah,
things under volcanoes.
Yeah. And one of the things I like the most about Alien vs Predator is like there's a temple under the ice in Antarctica. Cool, because there easily could be.
That very well could be.
We
wouldn't. How would you and I know?
We wouldn't.
Exactly.
So that was super cool. And then let's get into this clip. Like, so if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna give you a little clip from it just that explains how. So it's like, how did they get together? Well, let's just play the clip so that we get our understanding. This is actually after one really cool scene in the movie where the Predator first shows up and the people are in this temple and they're like scared and they're hiding, and then they see the Predator cut off one of the aliens' faces, and then he takes his mask off and he takes that acidic blood and then carves a symbol into his helmet before putting it back on. So let's do this thing.
The hieroglyphs are a little difficult to make out.
So we're in a temple.
Yeah.
But the story is all here. Thousands of years ago, these hunters found a backwater planet.
Earth. So he's talking about us. So now you see like these like Aztec
They taught
type looking
humans how
people
to build
on a temple.
and were worshipped as gods.
Predators.
Every 100 years, the gods would return.
Predators.
They're the gods.
And when they did, they would expect a sacrifice.
Humans.
Humans were used to breed the ultimate prey.
Aliens.
The hunters would battle these great serpents,
Predator versus alien.
prove themselves worthy to carry the mark.
So pretty clever way to do that.
If the hunters lost, they made sure nothing survived.
So they basically just
Entire civilization wiped out overnight.
Antarctica. They nuke Antarctica out of existence once they can't stop them, and that's Antarctica freezes over, and that's to lock in the alien that's on Earth.
Right.
So
perfect.
Yeah, pretty clever. I mean, in the Ridley Scott version, I don't think Alien ever comes to Earth
No.
at any point.
No.
But in this, I mean, this is the way to tie those two characters in together. Really clever. It's like, Predators are using Earth as a training ground. Mm-hmm. And
But they're teaching them how to build, doing.
it's like, here's how these, now because there's the mystery of how did who told the pyramids, because there's similar
Right.
type structures all around the Earth with civilizations that didn't have communication. Though more things that get uncovered or reread, there's better understandings that the world might have been a little more interlocked than we used to think.
Right, because if they're teaching us how to build and how to have this advanced civilization like humanity, they expect sacrifices when they come back.
Yeah.
So we have to put up our human beings so they can breed xenomorphs, so they can hunt and fight them, and then if they lose, they can nuke the whole thing and everyone dies.
Yeah, absolutely. And credit for using Antarctica instead of going with Atlantis.
right.
It's Atlantis had all the technology and all this. It's it used to be that would have been just easy pickings. Mm-hmm. So I think that this movie gets credit for being hey, a pyramid in Antarctica. What the heck is that doing there? What is it?
Why is it there?
Yeah, and it turns out that it is, for predators to practice hunting aliens. And I can't remember why he actually shows up there in the first place, but I think it was just to shut it down, I guess, because it's been thousands of years later.
Well, let's see. I'm going to read some of the plot, if that's okay.
Give me some goods.
But it was good. Just a little background as to why the hell would a predator be fighting an alien on Earth? That was the reason, what we just heard.
Right.
So 2004, a satellite detects a mysterious heat bloom beneath Buvatoya, an island about 1,000 miles off the coast of Antarctica. Wealthy industrialist Charles Bishop Wayland, played by Lance Henriksen. Lance Henriksen was in Aliens. Mm-hmm. He discovers through thermal imaging that there is a pyramid buried 2,000 feet beneath the ice. He attempts to claim it for his multinational communications company, Wayland Industries. You know Wayland Corporation from Wayland-Yutani from Aliens. Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's a subsidiary of the Wayland Corporation, assembles a team of experts to investigate. Team includes archaeologists, linguistic experts, drillers, mercenaries, and a guide named Lex Woods, played by Sana Lathan. Mm-hmm. As a predator ship reaches Earth's orbit, it fires an energy beam aimed at the pyramid site. When the team arrives at the abandoned whaling station above the heat source, they find a perfectly circular, unnatural tunnel running directly beneath the ice towards the pyramid. Wayland shows the team satellite images showing that the passage was not there 24 hours ago. The exploration team, they descend the tunnel and locate the mysterious pyramid and begin to explore it, soon finding evidence of a prehistoric civilization and what appears to be a sacrificial chamber filled with human skeletons. Inexplicably, all the skeletons appear to have ruptured rib cages. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, 3 predators, Scar, Celtic, and Chopper, they arrive and kill the remaining team members on the surface. They make their way down the pyramid and arrive just as the team unwittingly activates the structure and are trapped within it.
Right.
The alien queen awakes from cryogenic stasis, begins to produce eggs. When the eggs hatch, several face huggers, those things you said look like vaginas, spider vaginas. So several face huggers attach themselves to humans trapped in the sacrificial chamber. Chest bursters emerge from the humans and quickly grow into adult xenomorphs. So that's the thing that bursts out of the guy's chest. Conflict erupts between the predators, xenomorphs, and humans, resulting in several deaths. Celtic and Chopper are killed by a xenomorph, so score 2 for the aliens to start. And Wayland buys Lex and Italian archaeologist Sebastian de Rosa enough time to escape from Scar, giving his life in the process. The two witness Scar kill a facehugger and a xenomorph with a shuriken before unmasking and marking himself with the blood of the facehugger. After Lex and Sebastian leave, another facehugger attaches itself to Scar due to him not wearing his mask. Oh,
right.
How timely. Through translation of the Pyramid's hieroglyphs, which we just played, Lex and Sebastian learn that the Predators have been visiting Earth for thousands of years. It was they who taught early human civilizations how to build pyramids, were worshipped as gods. Every 100 years, they visit Earth, take part in a rite of passage by which several humans sacrifice themselves as hosts for xenomorphs, creating the ultimate prey for the Predators to hunt. As a failsafe, if overwhelmed, the Predators would activate the self-destruct device to eliminate the xenomorphs and themselves. The two deduce that this is why the current Predators are at the pyramid, so they're getting ready for that big hunt, and that the heat bloom was a ruse to attract humans to the site for the sole purpose of making... Oh, so this is new. I didn't know this. That heat bloom that they put in place was to, in fact, get the humans there. That's what was a ruse. So I never, without reading this is from the Wikipedia page, just to keep it short and simple for everyone, including myself. So, wow, that's interesting. So the two deduce this is why the current Predators are at the pyramid, that the heat bloom was a ruse to attract humans to the site for the sole purpose of making new xenomorphs to hunt, meaning that's why the Queen was there in cryostasis.
Okay, so that makes more sense.
Lex and Sebastian decide that the Predators must be allowed to succeed in their hunt so that the xenomorphs do not escape to the surface. We're on Earth, obviously. Sebastian is captured by a xenomorph, leaving only Lex and Scar, the human and the Predator, to fight the xenomorph. Scar uses parts of a dead xenomorph to fashion weapons for Lex, and the two form an alliance. The xenomorph Queen, using her own acidic blood, is freed from her restraints and along with other xenomorphs begins pursuing Lex and Scar. Just as they're about to escape, Scar detaches and uses a bomb in his wrist module to destroy the pyramid and the remaining xenomorphs and eggs. Lex and Scar reach the surface, however, Xenomorph Queen has survived and continues to chase them. And I will leave it there because that would tell you why that pyramid was under.
Right. So no, that's up. Yeah.
I never, but in all the years after seeing this, I never realized that the Predators created it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that's cool about the Queen in this, it's the biggest xenomorph that's ever been featured in an alien movie.
That was a big queen.
Huge. They've never, I don't think you've ever seen anything that size except for maybe in the Alien comic books that spawned after this, which, yeah.
I'm not a comic book reader, but I know that was, I think, what put the two together to begin with back in like the 90s or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that's where it all started tying together. And I never got into those because it's like I mean, it's fine. I mean, I like stuff, but that one's not one that I would reach for.
Yeah.
Which is all good. But yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. So that's a really good story right there, just to find out why the hell would aliens be fighting predators on Earth?
Yeah.
What scenario would cause that? That's actually, to me, a pretty thoughtful way of doing it.
Agreed. I mean, it's very clever because there was some low-hanging fruit there that they could have went with, but it's a lot more original.
Yeah.
And one of those movies that was just fun from start to finish.
I agree.
At no point was there just all right, this is dumb. I mean, I chuckled at the thought of it and how you have to try and make it a little serious, but it's it's just a good time.
It is. I mean, if you want to see
good kills,
aliens fighting predators and humans not being able to do anything about it.
Yeah.
that's a
pretty sure Predator kills a couple people too, or at least somebody, because it's all when are they going to work together? And Predator's I don't know you.
Yeah. The work together thing is not part of the plan when they...
No, not until the very end after she kills something.
Mm-hmm.
She does something to help him.
Yes.
The Predator, and then he's like, all right, we're cool.
He sees her as an equal.
Yeah, we're going to kill this thing. Or she marks herself.
Right.
That's what it is. She marks herself with the blood. That's how he's just all right, we're cool.
Yeah. So
You earned it.
let me see this. I will finish this story for everyone just because it will provide some perspective. The Predator ship uncloaks and several Predators appear. They retrieve their fallen comrade. An elder Predator presents Lex with one of the spear weapons as a gift. Other Predators recognize her skill as a warrior by the symbol that Scar burned on her cheek before he died.
Yeah.
Using alien blood, Predator's spaceship flies off, leaving Lex behind. Lex walks over to a snowcat, leaves the area. The Predators leave Scar's body on a plinth in front of a window on the ship. Moments later, a Pred alien chest burster with alien and Predator traits erupts from Scar's chest, leading into the events of its sequel,
Requiem.
AVP2, Requiem.
Yeah. Which, not as much fun.
No.
Not as bad as you think it could be, but it's not like definitely not noteworthy enough for us to like add it in to the conversation.
No, I mean, so Alien vs. Predator, it's kind of cool. We both, and again, I know we've agreed a lot recently on the podcast.
Yeah.
People don't realize our history of not agreeing much.
On anything.
No.
Time has taken its toll. We were like much more agreeable.
Yeah, it's very weird. But back then, this was a rare one where we were both like, I don't see where the hate comes from. This is pretty good.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a lot of fun. I remember even being like slightly reluctant because I don't like Predator 2.
Yes.
And I have conversations with people who are just like, it's not that bad. It's still like fun, but it's like, I don't know. It's just, there's a part in it where Danny Glover, it's that part that just gets me when he actually calls it the Predator.
Oh, that's the one in LA, right?
I think so.
Like Los Angeles and the Predator.
I watched this so long ago.
Yeah, you used to quote that.
It's a Predator. Like,
that's right.
It's a Predator. That's like one of those things, like if there's a line in a movie or a trailer, it can just turn me off for the whole thing. I don't know why I react that way. Mm-hmm. And one of the only exceptions to the rule that I can think of off the top of my head is Rogue One.
Really? Yeah. What happened in Rogue One?
Well, it was in the trailer where what's the lead girl's name when she's just like, where it's like the call, they're like, what's the call? Rogue One, and then she's like, may the Force be with us. It's like, you're no Jedi, shut up. And
okay.
And then you know how much I love that movie too. So
yeah, Rogue One was something special.
Yeah, and you know, one of those surprising, just fun, all around good movies. And then for Alien vs. Predator, I'm not going to tell you it's the best movie ever, and rarely will I ever say that with any movie we talk about. I like, scary movies. I like sci-fi movies for fun.
Yep. And
this is fun. It's a fun duel between the two.
Yes.
Clever. What else can I say? What else can I tell you about it?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that one back in the day. Watched it again at some point in the basement, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If you are looking, there are, of course, fans of both The Predator and Alien.
Yeah.
I think that you will be satisfied with a watch if you haven't already.
Yeah, I don't think it'll disappoint. I don't think it'll disappoint if you're just like, oh, let's just watch something dumb and fun.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think if what would be the detractors for any fan of either.
Well, I mean, if you're really into both, like I could see where you'd get turned off by, the Xenomorphs themselves in this one, like introducing a new queen. Like sometimes people don't like adding new to something that already exists. Like, whereas, like I mentioned, this is like the biggest queen you'll ever see. Like it's mad, it's huge.
So fans of Alien be like, hey, why would it come here?
Yeah, be like, that's dumb. Yeah. But it's like, Predator put it there. But it's also, the thing about Alien's in the future.
Right.
So,
true.
This is in the past. It's all before that.
And just interesting, if I haven't mentioned it yet, Lance Henriksen, who's like the head of the operation.
Yeah.
He's a, what is it, an android or whatever? He was in Aliens as the guy. So the bot, whatever.
Pretty neat.
But yes, and something of note that I will leave you with for this first Versus episode as we make our way towards Godzilla vs. Kong. Interestingly enough, directed by Adam Wingard. He's the guy behind him and his writing partner, at least Simon Barrett. They're behind You're Next. VHS.
Yeah.
Is that what the
Yeah.
that was the team behind that. So this is Adam Wingard. And The Guest, the film The Guest.
Okay.
This is his first big shot directing at like this blockbuster film, which will be Godzilla vs. Kong.
Now you're making me feel bad that it's not getting a big theater.
So, I mean, he's been up and coming for a while now. This is here's a huge budget and make these two monsters fight. So we're doing this series. It's called the Versus series on the Red River Horror Podcast. The next 3 episodes, starting off with this Alien versus Predator. So I just wanted to leave you with that. Joe, you have a tidbit of information you know about this film that I did not, Alien versus Predator. So we said this came out in the summer of 2004. I'm just going to leave you with this. Came out on August 13th.
August 13th,
2004. Running time of 101 minutes. Screenplay by Paul W.S. Anderson. Story by Paul W.S. Anderson. He did Event Horizon as well. So,
Yep. Which is also one of the ones when we've talked about horror movies and sci-fi. Some people are just like, Event Horizon's not a horror movie, but it's scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie is scary.
Terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah. So have some fun. And then when we said August 13th, 2004, we're not going to tell you what next week's versus match is. The only thing I'll tell you is that it came out on the same exact day 1 year before.
Wow.
So
you told me that before we started. I'm so excited.
It was a fun tidbit. So until next time, I got nothing else. Well, you got anything?
Nah, if you're Team Alien, hurrah. If you're Team Predator, hurrah. Enjoy Alien vs. Predator the way Joe and I did. If you have any ideas for future shows, redriverhorror@gmail.com. Also, don't forget Keystone Retro. Shop there for your exclusive discount code. Put Red River in there when you check out. A lot of great collectibles, I'm sure, featuring Alien or Predator. Joe, that is all I got.
Fantastic. And of course, you can find us on Twitter at Red River or me at Red River Joe. And remember, kids, to keep traveling those channels of fear.